What if she's made a list of all her favorite players and we're not on it?
Pixar has successfully released another stunning and beautifully written film, Inside Out 2. The sequel follows Riley Anderson after 2 years have passed and she's adjusted to her new life in San Francisco. She's made new friends, is a star player on her hockey team, and is hopeful for her following year in high school, where she plans to join her dream team, the Firehawks. Unfortunately, with all sorts of new changes in Riley's life, she begins to feel new and complicated emotions that influence her decisions. These new characters include envy, one of Riley's lesser talked about emotions but one that plays a significant role in the sequel. In today's video, we'll discuss Envy's character and what roles she could play if there's a third film.
Oh, we should ask Belle lots of questions. People love talking about themselves.
Number 1. The next antagonist. Although all the new emotions believed that the core 5 were hindering Riley and supported their exemption from headquarters, Envy is the one who fully supports Anxiety's actions, helping her to change Riley and alter her sense of self to create a newer version of the now teenager. Envy is constantly at the control panel alongside Anxiety, offering praise or advice about her plans, if not taking over the operation entirely if Anxiety must step away. She's motivated by her desire to be like everyone else and encourages Riley to change her behavior and appearance to mimic those she admires. Her role as an emotion aligned with Anxiety's goals at the time, which is likely why the pair became such a close-knit team. She supports as Riley lies about her interests, dyes her hair to mimic the Firehawks, and abandons her best friends in favor of Valentina. Envy also believes in Anxiety's efforts and doesn't realize how far they're overworked and pushed Riley until it's too late. In the third film, Envy could elevate her status from a secondary antagonist to a primary one. She could use her experience from Inside Out 2 to guide her decisions, finding a better way to keep the other emotions away from the control panel while influencing Riley. However, choosing to take over would need to occur because of a significant motivator, meaning something would happen to make Riley envious of someone or something. Riley is most motivated by hockey as she puts much of her physical and emotional energy into the sport. Hockey is one of the driving forces behind Riley's actions in the sequel, as she uses it to impress Valentina and ensure she has friends when she enters high school in the following months. Hockey could remain a primary stressor for Riley, mainly because it makes her envious of others. Some examples include being passed up as team captain, not receiving a scholarship into college through hockey, or getting sent to the penalty box one too many times, allowing a new star player to take her spot on the team. Any of these experiences may influence Envy to reach out for the control panel, taking control of Riley and influencing her actions. Unfortunately, Envy is strong enough to cloud anyone's judgment. Riley may become coerced into undesirable behavior, including sabotaging her teammates, lashing out at Coach Roberts, or going too far to prove her worth to the team.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Party time with Belle and our future besties.
Number 2. Disgust's little sister. When Envy first arrives at headquarters, one of the first things she does is admire Disgust's hair, reaching to touch it despite Disgust feeling unhappy that new emotions are entering their headquarters. However, from their first interaction, it seems like the pair were written to have a specific relationship with one another. They share similar roles in Riley's mind, for example, as they each carefully watch the people around them, searching for social cues, the daily do's and don'ts, and influencing Riley based on what others perceive as good and evil. While Disgust does so to help Riley seem cool and approachable to others, Envy's actions are motivated by a desire to be like everyone else, which is why she and Disgust may have problems getting along. However, now that the new emotions have been redeemed and have found permanent roles in headquarters, there's plenty of time for Disgust and Envy to bond with one another. The two emotions may find common ground by speaking and working together. Similar to how sadness and embarrassment grow closer throughout the film, Disgust could help Envy learn how to do her hair the same way, share her nighttime routine, and gossip about Riley's social life. Envy seems designed to represent a younger sibling or child, similar to how Nostalgia's appearance resembles an elderly person or grandparent. Envy's youthful appearance and short stature add credibility to the idea that she's meant to act as a sister emotion to Disgust, as their opinions equally shape Riley, especially when considering what she does and doesn't like.
I'm Envy! Oh, look at your hair. Oh yeah, not happening.
Number 3. Anxiety's confidant. Throughout the sequel, Anxiety and Envy scarcely spend time apart. They are like peas in a pod, sharing their beliefs, opinions, and goals. They work well together because their goals align and they want a similar outcome for Riley, to prevent her from being alone in high school by befriending Valentina and the Firehawks, people she admires. As they continue to work together, Anxiety confides in Envy about her concerns, discusses her plans, and rejoices in their victories. The pair seem like best friends based on their behavior, and it must take time for someone like Anxiety, who always assumes the worst, to trust someone else as she does with Envy. After all, Envy is the one she trusts to watch over Riley and the control panel when she must step away throughout the film. She also promises to let Envy plant an emotion in Riley's sense of self, but it's unknown if she followed her word. Now that the pair have aligned themselves with Joy and the other core emotions, they'll likely remain in headquarters as the franchise grows, helping dictate Riley's decisions and behaviors as she develops her sense of self. At the film's end, a scene shows how all the emotions have learned to help Anxiety cope by reminding her that they can only tackle the problems before them, while encouraging her toward grounding and calming activities. Envy could continue acting as Anxiety's confidant in the third film. While the pair may not plot to overtake headquarters and fundamentally change Riley forever, they can remain close friends who can help one another when it counts. Specifically, Envy could learn to help Anxiety when she becomes overwhelmed, helping her use therapeutic tools to remain in the moment or helping her recover if Riley ever experiences another panic attack, as she did toward the end of the film.
We need to be that good every time. Let's run it again.
Number 4, the confident planner. One of the running themes throughout the sequel is that Joy doesn't know how to help Riley throughout her tricky transition from middle school to high school. She admits how hard it is to stay optimistic when everyone else is always concerned with the worst possible outcomes. Admittedly, beginning puberty, learning that your best friends are transferring to a different school, and going to a summer camp that could determine your future hockey career would feel stressful for anyone, and it would be hard to remain upbeat given the circumstances. Throughout the film, Joy tries to guide her fellow emotions through Riley's mind, but she lacks concrete plans. The others, especially Fear, can't help comparing Joy to Anxiety, who happens to have an emergency plan or strategy for every situation. Rightfully, Joy became frustrated with the comparisons, but Anxiety's methods for planning weren't always concrete. Like Fear, Anxiety tended to plan for every possible outcome, specifically the ones that could go wrong and result in something negative. She accomplished this by thinking outside the box, overworking herself, and enlisting the help of others, like the mind workers. However, she tended to take her plans and considerations too far, pushing Riley more than she needed. In contrast, Envy's plans were based on facts, social interactions, and the information she learned from them. Like disgust, she appears more observant of others and may serve as the middle ground the other emotions need when creating plans to help Riley in the future.
And what happens if we don't become a Firehawk? Well, thanks for asking, Joy. I'll tell you.
As it stands, Inside Out 2 gave audiences a fantastic narrative about growing up, changing, and accepting oneself, flaws and all. The new emotions have created interesting dynamics that challenge the core 5, especially because Joy and the others have recently learned how to coexist peacefully and work as a team. Envy could take on many roles within the group dynamic. Still, based on her interactions and behavior in the sequel, she'll undoubtedly become a prominent character within Inside Out 3.
We're basically the same person. We're gonna be best friends.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
An exclusive invitation!